The original aims of our vanguard were threefold really. We'd seen a lot more people from care homes being admitted to hospital, which was a concern. GPs had told us that they'd found people's needs were increasing in care homes. Actually, when we asked care providers what their staff wanted training on, it was more clinical issues than it was about social care. So we knew the level of need was rising and we wanted to better support people to stay at home, which happened to be in a care home.
In the original pitch, we put forward the four key elements were around increasing knowledge and skills of staff in care homes, multidisciplinary team approach, rapid response and increasing our investment in technology.
Rapid response comes in many forms, so one of them is the early intervention vehicle. So that's a partnership between the County Council and the Ambulance Trust.
What we're able to do now is assess at home and try to keep somebody at home rather than taking them to hospital just because it's not safe at home. My experience of being part of the Vanguard process has been a really positive, quite exciting one. It's a very unique environment to be working in as an occupational therapist. I wouldn't usually have the opportunity to work in a 999 frontline service. And I think working integrated with the ambulance service has been a fantastic experience and one that really seems to have benefited patients as well.
I had a particular fall and this Vanguard, or as I know it now, the Vanguard team turned up, checked me over, and the occupational therapist that was on board with them as well checked me as well, looked around and suggested various pieces of equipment. First of all, grab rails for my bed, and also equipment for the kitchen, chairs. And they actually went out to the van and got these things and brought them in and installed them. And it's been the best thing that's ever happened.
It's prevented 70% of people who've been responded to by that car from being conveyed to hospital, and that's 2,000 people. I suppose the most practical thing we've put in place is enhanced training for care home staff.
What we've had to do is we've had to engage the managers as well, so it's about leadership. Those managers have had to understand that what they are doing is they're upskilling certain members of staff. Those members of staff will be able to cascade that information through the rest of the staff teams.
Champions take a great pride in delivering training sessions and spreading the knowledge and experience what they gain through HCPA's and Vanguard programme.
It means that I can support my residents better, I can spot changes that may need more attention from medical personnel and hopefully treat them within the home again rather than send them to hospital.
Well, I think it gives us all a bit more confidence in actually being able to do the job that we are here for.
So we had to kind of refine the programme and be really clear around what the priorities were.
And what we found as we got into the project were there were other NHS services that were available but just weren't linked up with the care home. So for example, pharmacy, we've employed 2 or 3 extra community pharmacists to help care home staff specifically. Over 16,000 bits of medication have now been checked and we've been able to reduce the amount of medication that people in care homes are taking. I think it was by about 17% and that saved about £400,000. But when people do end up in hospital, and some people do need to go and do need to stay for a while, it's important we get them home as soon as possible.
We looked at the problems of getting people out of hospital, and that was very much around looking for somebody that would be trusted in the hospital to act impartially, to carry out any assessments for the care home and save the care home the time of going backwards and forwards to the hospital.
We've seen about £350,000 bed days savings as a consequence of that project thus far.
The impact we've seen is a lower number of admissions to hospitals. That's what we're really aiming for. So the care homes who were in the original cohort who've been running the Vanguard streams the longest have seen a 45% reduction in people being admitted to hospital, which is fantastic. Because it means they're at home, not going to hospital. The hospital bed is empty. And we've calculated that saved about £1.7 million with the reduction in the cost of the beds at the hospital and the medication that people are no longer taking.